They say Terence Crawford is nearly unstoppable. But when the name Canelo Alvarez comes up, the experts start to doubt. In fact, plenty of analysts believe Crawford may be entering a fight he simply cannot win.
Others say, like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he's still got that kind of steam.
Shawn Porter knows what it means to share the ring with the very best. And when it comes to Crawford's stepping in against Canelo, he's got serious concerns. His breakdown highlights a critical factor: size and power. Canelo's punches aren't just heavy, they're fight-changing. If Crawford can't withstand the early storm, making it through 12 rounds becomes an almost impossible mission. With Canelo's strategy,
think of that fight?
I truly believe, that anything can happen in boxing. You know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that his weight.
He likely centered on overwhelming Crawford before fatigue sets in. The challenge only grows. Edgar Berlanga, who's felt the punches of some hard hitters, also weighed in. His take? Simple, but powerful. He favors Canelo, pointing to the natural size and physicality advantage. Canelo is built for the higher weight classes, and that makes his punches harder, his ring presence stronger, and his dominance clear. For Crawford, moving up...
Give Crawford millions of dollars, right? But don't try to come and try to fool me, telling me that Crawford can beat Canelo. There is no way. There is no way that Crawford can beat...
means stepping into unfamiliar waters against a fighter who thrives on breaking opponents down with relentless pressure. Trainer Joel Diaz, a man who's seen it all from champions to brutal battles, doesn't sugarcoat it either. He questions the hype and the narrative being sold. For Diaz, it's reality over fantasy. Canelo is a seasoned veteran, used to trading blows with naturally bigger and stronger men. Crawford, though supremely skilled, faces a mountain almost too high to climb. The size gap.
I don't think it's a fight Canelo really wants, if I'm honest, because I think he feels like he won't get a lot of credit beating a light middle.
Combined with Canelo's fight IQ and experience at heavier weights, makes Diaz's stance clear. This is a fight Crawford may simply not survive.
About that?
Everybody wants to fight me. Everybody calling me out and everything. And like I say, I have nothing to win with Crawford. 2, 3 weights class.
Promoter Eddie Hearn, one of the sharpest business minds in boxing, puts a twist on the conversation. While many pros believe Canelo would dominate, Hearn suggests Canelo might not even be motivated to take the fight. Why? Because even if he wins, critics could say Crawford was too small to begin with. Still, if the bout happens, Hearn makes
decision or stoppage if they fight in May, Canelo and Crawford.
Decision or
and why does Canelo beat him? Before you get out of here.
Listen, we can have the skills and everything, but jumping that much like that, jumping like that much, getting hit. I don't think Crawford's ever fought a fighter that's hit him directly, just straight, constantly in the arms. And it's not because they can't. They don't think that way.
Appreciate you.
Gotta clear it out, guys. Remember, this man's been pro since what, 14?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
15.
Yeah, 15. Doesn't make
it clear. Canelo would bring his full arsenal, looking to dominate from the opening bell. For Crawford, then
Canelo's strategy of breaking down opponents through body and arm shots is a nightmare for smaller fighters.
means not just fighting uphill in size, but proving he truly belongs in the ring with a powerhouse like Canelo.
What round does Crawford get knocked out? I'm gonna put 8. Let's put it on the universe. So I'm gonna put it on 8. 8. And if it goes the other way, I 8. You know, I 8. So yeah, Ryan, Joe, and Eddie Reynoso also. That'd be cool, man. We all get work. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have our own underground boxing, me and Ryan, before we fight.
Teofimo Lopez, never shy with his bold takes, broke it down even further. He believes the physicality and experience Canelo brings are game changers. Lopez highlights something.
You know, at the end of the day, they're two great pound-for-pound fighters, and if they feel like, you know, it makes sense and they want to fight each other, stylistically, it's a great fight. But, you know, Canelo, he's a big dude. So I think it'd be hard for anyone to beat him at 168. But, you know, it's definitely a big money fight, and that's why we're all in boxing, you know, to make the biggest.
Crawford hasn't truly faced before. A fighter who applies relentless pressure and lands punishing shots even when they don't aim for the head. Canelo's brutal body and arm shots are nightmares for smaller fighters. With years of elite experience and devastating power, Lopez warns Crawford's defensive sharpness could be pushed to the breaking point. Then Lopez went further, making a daring.
I want to say it's impossible for my boy Crawford, but it's one of those things where if he really wants to win against Canelo, he's going to need to do everything. You know, you're going to need to run uphill. You're going to need to train in high altitude. You're going to need to do every little thing that gives you that, you know, athletic edge and lots of pre-fight meditate, you know. You got to see victory before the victory.
Prediction: Canelo's sheer strength and experience will be too much for Crawford to handle. Danny Garcia, another former world champion, didn't mince words either. His caution to Crawford was blunt. Stepping in against Canelo at 168 pounds is a daunting task, even for a boxer as talented as him. While it would be a legacy-defining matchup, Garcia fears the physical gap could simply be too great. Keith Thurman, sharp-minded and battle-tested, painted a vivid picture. For Crawford to have any shot, everything must fall into place, physically, mentally, and
won't be the factor. The factor will be how Canelo chooses to make the fight. If Canelo comes out and does what Canelo should do, Canelo wins the fight. If Canelo comes out and does what he shouldn't do, Crawford wins.
Strategically, Thurman warns it's not just about skill, but about pushing himself to the absolute limit. Yet even then, Canelo's overwhelming size, power, and experience at higher weights make the climb seem nearly impossible. With every ounce of Crawford's preparation already stacked against him, Canelo's precision and pressure could turn his dream into a nightmare. Legend Roy Jones Jr., with eyes sharpened by decades of ring knowledge, added his perspective. He insists it's not only a...
Canelo's just too big, and he's just a different animal. You know, leave the Canelo for the big boys like the David Benavidez, the Morel, you know, all the others, you know, coming in that weight class. People, and Crawford smart enough to understand, you know, even though it's a payday, just leave that alone. I mean, unless they talk about that, they guarantee him $15 million, well, you know, and then you know, it's a business aspect as well. But other than that, I think he shouldn't. I prefer to see him fight Charlo at 54 instead of...
About size, but also about Canelo's strategy. For Jones, Canelo's ability to control tempo and dictate the fight is crucial. If Canelo sticks to what works, power, pressure, and smart ring control, Crawford could be suffocated. But if Canelo tries to get too flashy, Crawford's slick adaptability might give him an opening. The real question? Will Canelo stay disciplined, or will Crawford's counter-punching lure him into dangerous waters?
You know, everybody knows that Crawford got the skills. I do think that Canelo's a little big. He's a little big for Crawford. And it'll be a tall task for him to win. It'll be a lot you have to. It'll be a lot to get that victory based on, you know, size alone. Not that size wins fights, but you got a guy that got size and skill. it'll be hard. I mean, nothing's impossible. But if I had my money on somebody winning the fight, it'll be Canelo Alvarez. Even though Terence Crawford is a great
Trainer Chino Rivas doesn't hold back either. For him, it's about both money and survival. At 168, the risks are brutal. Rivas warns Crawford that chasing a payday against Canelo could cost him more than he's ready to give. A fight with Charlo at 154? Manageable. A fight with Canelo at super middleweight? A beast of its own. Jaron Davis, who shared rings with both fighters, gave perhaps one of the most honest.
What's the smart bet on Crawford Canelo? Canelo by knockout or Canelo by decision?
Crawford by decision.
And you have to bet?
Yes.
I say Canelo by decision. I've always been saying, I think Canelo at the end, obviously his strength, his weight,
experience,
probably takes all.
Mistakes. He doesn't underestimate Crawford's brilliance, but he's realistic. Canelo's size and strength at 168 could be overwhelming. His conclusion is blunt. Crawford might compete, but the fighter who imposes his will physically is usually the one who wins. In this case, that's Canelo. Trainer Robert Garcia, always measured in his analysis, added his perspective. He points to strategy, not just raw talent. Garcia believes Canelo's size and strength could simply outlast Crawford's skill over 12 rounds.
Concern is that he won't hurt Canelo. And if he doesn't hurt Canelo and can't hurt Canelo, then Canelo keeps coming. Similar to how he stalked Charlo, how he stalked, once he had Plant hurt, he chased after him. Canelo is a very powerful individual who can get exposed by a boxer because every shot he throws, he's trying to make it a power shot. But to me, can Crawford hurt him? I would pick Crawford to win if he can box and stay away. I don't believe he can hurt Canelo. And if Canelo catches him, it could be trouble.
While Crawford can box brilliantly, Canelo's relentless pressure and adaptability make him the likely winner. Garcia even predicts a decision victory, proving his belief that Canelo can dominate without needing a knockout. Stephen A. Smith, known for speaking blunt truths, also jumped in. He praises Crawford's skill, but warns that without the power to hurt Canelo, those skills may not be enough. Smith stresses a chilling reality. Once Canelo senses weakness, his relentless pursuit could overwhelm Crawford. He admits Crawford could outbox him early, but ultimately, Canelo's power and aggression could end the fight with one crushing shot.
What about Canelo and Crawford? What do you think?
That's going to be a great fight, too. I can't believe they made that happen. Turkey's been making a lot of great fights happen. You can't really hate on it. But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo is so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason.
Young talent Ryan Garcia echoed the same. Respecting both fighters, he still admitted Canelo holds the advantage in size and raw strength. For Garcia, it's simple. While tactics matter, brute force matters more. And when it comes to brute force, Canelo rules the ring.
And if the paperwork gets signed up and finished, if Crawford can get him to come down some weight,
no, it's gonna be at 68.
That's a bad look for Crawford. I love Crawford, dog. I think he's real talented, but we see him at 154 going up in weight class, and he kind of struggled. He didn't struggle, but that weight was definitely a difference. To go up another 2 weight classes after that, we're going to see a lot slower Terence Crawford. Yeah, his boxing ability is there, but Crawford don't hit like Canelo. Canelo's coming down for that fight.
Analyst Adonis Wilkins added weight to the discussion, pointing out what many see as the biggest obstacle, the leap in weight. Crawford has conquered 154, but moving all the way to 168 against Canelo? That's a different animal. Wilkins doesn't hide his prediction. Crawford's speed and power may be neutralized, while Canelo's raw strength shines through. He confidently predicts a Canelo win. Dennis Thompson Jr., reflecting on Canelo's success in moving up weight classes, also weighed in. He highlights Canelo's adaptability, stamina, and ability to impose his will. He reminds us, Canelo's already proven himself at higher weights, breaking down bigger opponents with pressure and...
I think coming up September, we got Canelo Alvarez, we got Terence Crawford.
Right.
What's your thoughts?
I think I take Canelo. I feel like I ain't really like Bud performance when he moved up the first time, and I feel like Canelo might end up breaking him down. The difference is, well, we fighting bigger guys. Yeah. They be much stronger and too, they coming down from a higher weight originally. So it'd be that. They punches be a little stronger, and you moving up, you might feel a little sluggish. You might not be at your same speed and stuff like that. You might be a little off.
Power. For Thompson, Crawford's speed and skill may not survive the storm Canelo brings round after round. Even Showbiz the adult, known for his bold takes, agreed. He pointed out the critical weight difference. He believes Crawford's usual game, speed, footwork, sharp defense, would struggle against Canelo's strength and ring-cutting abilities. Showbiz argues that in later rounds, Canelo's experience and power will take over, leaving Crawford with little chance to hold him off. As the experts speak, one truth echoes: Canelo's size, strength, and relentless pressure at 168 are simply too much for Crawford to overcome.
Listen, dog, Crawford fans, I've been trying to say this, dog. Canelo at 168 is all wrong for Crawford, dog. he ain't gonna do what he did. He's gonna absorb Crawford's shots. He's gonna catch and shoot, and he's gonna rip some shit. He's gonna cut off the ring. He's gonna even counter. He got faster hands than you expect. Canelo hands faster than Madrimov. Brother, you think he was strong at 150, and Madrimov was strong at 154. Canelo at 160 is diabolical, dog.
From veteran trainers to former champions, the majority agree it's an uphill battle Crawford may not be able to climb. His skill and adaptability are undeniable, but the physical gap is one thing he can't escape. So, the burning question remains, can Crawford defy the odds, or will Canelo continue his reign as boxing's dominant force? The answer will only be written inside the ring. But one thing is certain, this fight, if it happens, will have the entire world talking. What do you think? Does Crawford stand a chance, or is Canelo simply too powerful? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.